Welcome to Body Moves for Life. This is John Archer today, ready to talk to you about stomach muscles. Now, the very first thing I want to say here immediately is I want to dispel a big myth. A lot of people think if I'll just do a lot of stomach muscle work, I will really flatten this stomach of mine. And unfortunately, that's not true. If you do a lot of stomach muscle work, you will build your muscles nice and cut and strong underneath the fatty tissue, which will hide your beautiful cut six-pack. So what I want to suggest is if you eat a healthy diet and burn the healthy amount of fat in your diet and in your, doing aerobic type exercises and eating healthily, you will trim this down. But today my point is not to see if I can convince you to do these exercises and lose your stomach belly fat. My desire is to help you learn to condition your stomach and keep it nice and firm to be able to help support the trunk, which will help take pressure to strain off the back and be less prone to hurt your back, as well as have a nice strong core to be able to support this part of your body. Now, a few things just to warm up with. I would like to start off with basically the stomach muscles need to be stretched before exercised. And so what I'll often do just to simply stretch them is I'll start out here and I just lean back, lift my head, and I maybe support here on my glutes or maybe on my legs. And I'll just lean back a little and really let my stomach muscles stretch. This will take just a minute here and it will begin to stretch out this whole part, the front part of my core. And that feels good. You can do that a few times. That same exercise can be done simply and maybe more easily by being on hands and knees here on the mat and extending your legs and looking up at the ceiling like this, or the sky. You can turn a little bit to each side, get your neck involved, really scoot here and arch. It's a really nice warm-up stretch for your stomach. Now, again, the idea here is body moves. The idea is to do repetitions, to really warm up the muscles, and then once they're warm, to be able to perhaps stretch them better and to condition them by conditioning and toning through repetition. What I want to talk about here is a lot of people will do some really heavy stretching exercises with the stomach that's really tiring. They'll do a lot of crunches, they'll do a lot of leg raises, they'll do a lot of sit-ups, okay? And all these things are wonderful, but sometimes these things are unenjoyable just because they're exhausting. And fact is, our stomachs may not be in condition to do a lot of reps. We only want to feel like doing 8 or 10, we're exhausted, and we don't want to come back the next day and do some more. So what I want to talk about more is moving the muscles in your stomach and getting your stomach muscles in condition by doing something that's enjoyable, something that might not be so miserable. So simply by lying on your back, this might be a place to start by simply lifting your feet, lifting your knees here, and simply lowering them without touching the mat. Now, this is not too hard, but perhaps you want to go even easier. So leave your legs down, lift one foot up, bring it up and back and up and back, and then switch up and back and up and back. And then maybe you'll do 2 at a time. Okay? Now these are just leaving your feet nice and close to the mat. You can also bring your knees up here and you can lift your foot up and go down and up like this. Straighter is a little harder. You can bend your knees and come down like this. Okay? The other leg, the easier way would be bend your knees, come down, maybe extend a little bit, or not bend your knees at all and do a raise here with your leg. You can also rest, lift, and these are kind of easy cheats, but here's the idea. I would like to encourage you to allow yourself to cheat in your exercises to the degree that it's not miserable, and do a lot of these repetitions while you're cheating. And at the end of the day, you may have done 50 or 60 reps, and that may be better than doing just 8 or 10 one time, because it just hurt and it wasn't fun. And you might feel that there's success and there might be burn, but yet it wasn't so miserable. So doing a couple of basic things here. We talked about lifting, and you can also lift and move out and back, and lift and move out and back. Now this is not simply working only the stomach muscles, but rather also some different muscles in the legs and the hips. But the idea here is to be creative with your movement, where ultimately you're doing lifting, maybe to the side, maybe to the side. These are with straight legs. Looking also at another concept here is bent legs. So you might do lift and lift and lift. Okay, getting a little bit of twist in here. Lift, lift, and lift. So the more you twist, of course, you're starting to really extend into the side part of your stomachs, even maybe into your obliques if you get a really good twist here. And again, the idea here is to do something that feels not too hard, but something that you may enjoy. Now, we've talked about lifting the feet, whether straight legs, bent legs, and doing some different creativity here. But we also have the idea of not just lifting the feet, but lifting the core. So one thing you may do is you may do some types of crunches. Now my arms are down here, okay? And I'm kind of using my elbows to cheat a little bit. And that's okay. I don't want to encourage actually putting your hands behind your head to pull, as you can really pull and strain your neck. But if you can help yourself a little bit and do a few crunches, even cheating, if you're not used to doing any crunches at all, it might allow you to get some reps in and find some success. Of course, if your arms are even farther here, this could be even harder. Okay, and of course you can go to the sides, again being creative, or with the arms down, or with the arms completely down, helping yourself up a little bit with your elbows. Now, of course, if you want to make it a little harder, you might want to bring yourself all the way up, more like a sit-up, okay? And if you really want to do sit-ups and they're a little bit too hard, you can use your elbows a little bit to help you up and back down, and your elbows up and back down. These are just good ways to cheat a little bit and to allow yourself to accomplish your goals. Now, of course, if all those are too easy, if you have rock solid abs and you can do some different things where you're lifting your feet and your back at the same time, or maybe holding like this, something of this nature, and you're kind of working both the bottom part of your abs and the upward part at the same time. So the idea here isn't really to teach you any new amazing tricks here, to reinvent the wheel, but rather to figure out ways to make your exercise easier and do a lot of repetitions and find yourself accidentally doing a lot more than you realized you could do, because instead of having to do it the hard way, you were doing it a way by assisting yourself with other body parts to make it easier and getting a lot of reps in. Now, I'm not encouraging in any way to do these exercises by cheating in a way that's going to be unsafe or harmful to your body. Please be sure to be conscientious of your neck and back, lower back issues, problems you may have, and seek your physician about any concerns if you've had back surgeries or slip discs or anything of this nature. But these little exercises will truly warm up the stomach, allow you to feel like literally in your stomach muscles you've accomplished a lot, and accomplished more than you ever would by simply doing the really hard, military style workouts that you find that you might just do for 1 week and then quit. So these are a few simple thoughts on how to motivate you maybe to do some stomach workout and to do a little bit of something every day. I don't find my stomach workouts to be so exciting, so these are some ideas that I come up with to kind of do a few reps whenever I can, to incorporate that into my routine, to know that I've at least worked my muscles some in my stomach, and to not just be leaving out one main muscle group that needs to be exercised. Thanks again for joining. Please feel free to leave your comments. Would love to have you to subscribe to the channel for more videos for creative movement throughout the rest of your life. And again, John Archer, see you next time.